Hi everyone. Hi Pavan.
Hey.
Hi everyone. Hi Teja. Uh, Hope you're having an amazing Saturday. So, as promised, we are going to have a little talk show with the chef himself,
Hi.
Prithvi.
Hey.
So, we are
Hey.
very much excited. Let's wait for 1 or 2 minutes for others as well to join the session.
We've
So,
had
it's going to be
for five
interesting. We have
minutes.
a really fun and exciting questions planned, and the chef is going to share his journey with us, some tricks and tips as well. If you have any questions, please do ping us and you can DM us and you can type it in the live chat as well, and we will be answering it. So to give you a backdrop of what Prithvi is, so we've been in the same school. We three are in the same school, and he has
Hi, slow.
ventured into the chef industry, the culinary industry especially. So he's a recognized chef by IFCA, which is an Indian Federation for Culinary Association. So he's known as chef all over India. He's won a couple of competitions as well at an international and Indian level as well. So here we'll be asking him his journey. How did it all happen for him
Hi,
to
Chetu.
choose the chef journey as such? So I'll hand it over to Prithvi to share his experience with us.
Hey, hi, Sachin.
Hi Prithvi. So how did it all started? Can you give us an insight about your journey? What happened? How did you end up becoming a chef?
Hey, guys, you're forgetting me.
Oh hi.
He's
So
an,
this is
no,
Preetham.
actually, guys, please ignore him. He's an irritating character, please.
Yeah. So
Please.
let's get started for now.
So, it all started because I have failed my intermediate.
Yeah, that's sad.
That's sad. I was sitting at home for. Excuse me. Excuse me, please.
Start.
So I was sitting at home for 1 year and I was so worried about my future because all my friends were going to engineering colleges, degree colleges. You know, everything was very difficult to me. I was seeing them; they were going to colleges and everything. I was just sitting at home and studying the maths, which I was very poor.
Okay.
The only subject I don't like is maths, but I what to say.
I know everyone. There are people who hate maths as well. But how did you choose to pursue hotel management at first?
Yeah.
So how did it all started?
So when I was sitting at home, I started watching a show called Highway on My Plates,
Yeah.
hosted by Mayur and Rocky
Rocky
and
and
Mayur.
Mayur. Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember.
So
A quick question for you guys: if you can remember that show, which is called Highway on My Plate, which is gonna will be it's still going on, but it's a very old show. If you know that, comment down or you can give us a question about it as well. So let's go.
so that show inspired me a lot actually.
Mm-hmm.
So after that, I tried cooking at my home.
Okay.
Okay, then I thought, okay, this would be my career.
Okay.
So this would
So
be my
okay.
suitable job.
Okay.
So then I done my research. So how I need to enter and what all I need to do. So
Mm-hmm.
then I got my admission at IHM.
Okay.
Okay, for getting admission in IHM, we need to attend an exam. It's
Yeah.
called
So IHM is basically Indian Institute of Hotel Management.
yeah, it's actually a government affiliated college.
Yeah.
Okay, for you if you want to get admission at IHM, you need to attend an exam. It's called
Mm-hmm.
National Council of Hotel Management and Catering Technology Joint Entrance Exam. It's NCHMCT JEE. Okay,
Okay.
it offers 3 years course in which you have you will be you will be taught subjects. Okay, not only cooking because people think hotel management teaches only cooking and serving plates. It's not like
Yeah.
that. It teaches you food production, food and beverage services, accommodation operation, front office, account and communication,
Mm-hmm.
and hotel engineering and food science also.
Okay. A quick question. So
Hey,
I
you got
would
a
like
big fan.
to
So I
ask
think
you.
is your big fan. Oh, thank you.
So I'm gonna ask you a quick question.
Okay.
So everybody up there thinks that chef is all about cooking or managing a restaurant as such, but it's way beyond that. They are into organizing. They are into cutting down the cost of the food. They're into maintaining the restaurants, getting or acquiring the raw materials for the restaurants and everything. So more info about what is hotel management is all about.
Yeah, I'll be giving it. First of all, I would say people who are planning to do an hotel management or people who wants to get into the hospitality industry, I want to say them something.
Yeah.
Okay?
Go ahead.
Food and beverage industry is a lifestyle.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
Where it's not like where 9 to 5 job, you do 9 to 5 job and you think what to do on weekends. It's not like that. You
Okay.
need to work on weekends.
So it's not a typical corporate kind of a job.
No,
Okay.
it's very difficult actually. Okay, so I'll start my journey.
Yeah.
I'll say. So it's a 3 years course.
Mm-hmm.
So after that, we were taught how a kitchen and how a hotel and how a restaurant works.
Okay.
Then in the second year, you'll be sent to an industrial training for 20 weeks.
Okay.
So there you'll get a brief about how a hotel and a restaurant works.
Yeah. So I'm gonna quickly add here saying that hotel management is not just about studying or looking after books and all. It's purely practical. It's kind of a purely skilled based job where
Yeah.
they have to do practicals every day, go out, get a internship or get into something restaurants. Practice. So, if you are wanted to become a chef or wanted to get into the culinary industry as such, developing a skill is very important rather than just reading about it. Yeah.
And the worst part of internship,
Mm-hmm.
you get food, you get stay,
Yeah,
and you don't get paid.
that's sad. I have experienced that too.
You need to work for 20 hours a day without
Yeah.
a week off.
Oh,
Without a week off. Okay. So after that, then I was placed at Westin. Okay.
Hmm.
I worked for 6 months in the Westin. Then
That's great.
I heard about a restaurant. It was in startup.
okay.
It was by Chef Sanjay Tumma and Chef Vikram Singh.
So, for all those people who don't know who Chef Sanjay Tumma is, I know you all be watching on the YouTube for the Vareva Chef, right?
Yes.
So he has actually worked with him. He has interacted with him. He has worked in a restaurant where he has set it up all by himself. So that's really great for him to to work with such a well-renowned chef in India, especially. Yeah.
So I got very excited after when I heard about them opening a restaurant in India.
Okay.
So it was very very exciting. It has a very exciting cuisine. It was actually a fusion cuisine because I never worked with fusion cuisine.
Okay.
I found them interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So I went there as an opening team. I got selected.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then the restaurant was actually a turning point for me.
Okay.
Turning point because I have learned many things like how a restaurant work, like how to set up a restaurant.
Okay. So, because this talk show is related about business and starting up your own projects as well. So, starting a restaurant is not an easy job. No, you need to acquire a place, set up the place. You have to design the whole ambience as such.
Exactly.
Get experienced chef as well who have experience in that particular field. Everybody knows that in food there are a lot of different cuisines, and each cuisine demands a chef which has expertise in it. So setting up a restaurant, getting it working, continuing it, sustaining it, it's really hard.
Yes, exactly. So then I started working there as a chef.
Mm-hmm.
So after that, working as a chef was far more difficult than I thought. Okay, why? Because you need to work 14 hours a day on your feet, and you don't get to meet your friends because you're working on weekends.
That's sad.
That's very sad, actually.
Yeah.
But the kitchen, the working in the kitchen has also taught me you can even work in a high stress environment.
Yeah.
Because kitchens are usually an high stress environment.
Yeah. So there are a lot of heat going on, a lot of boiling, a lot of cooking going on
Exactly.
there.
It's not about only the cooking where you get some customers doesn't like food. You even get a customer who is a vegan.
Okay.
And he says that I am a strict vegan, but I eat fish.
Okay.
So then, you need to analyze things like what to do now.
Hmm.
Because vegan don't eat everything.
Yes.
Yes?
So I'll get a quick question here. What do you have to say to all the people, who debate upon being veg or non-veg or being totally vegan as such? So what are your opinions on it?
I vote for non-veg.
Okay.
It's okay. But I don't have any opinion on that. It's
Mhm.
their personal choice.
Yeah.
But our chef duty is that we need to serve them, a nice and tasty plate.
Shout out
Yeah.
to 20.
So, what are all the hardships or problems which you face in a restaurant while you are doing or cooking something?
Yeah, it's mainly because when the restaurant is full, you get most of the this orders.
Mm.
So you'll get confused what to do first because
Yeah.
first customers orders the starters, then the main course. If a waiter comes and if he get confused or if he confuses us,
Mhm.
so it will be a big mess.
Yeah. So I know you might be wondering, like, when you order something, why does it take so much time for the chef to cook it and bring it on your plate?
Yeah, exactly.
So tell us what's the process when you get an order? Do you have a pre-cooked stuff which is there, which you cook it and then and there give it, or you start it from the scratch?
No, it's not everything we start from the scratch.
Mhm.
We have food prepared.
Okay.
So the raw thing prepared.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing in the hotels are like when you order something, we just mix it and we heat it and we just give it.
Okay.
And by the way, it's a fresh food.
Okay.
Daily morning, it's been prepared. Because
That's really important. Huh?
because if you want to make it from the scratch,
Mhm.
it would take an hour.
Yeah.
Okay, would you wait? Would you wait it?
Not really.
You wait. So the thing is like they are organized
Mhm.
for making something. Every individual ingredient are separately cooked and
Yeah.
mixed together.
Mm-hmm.
So like that.
That's
and
great.
And the main thing, the waiters. Look, I'm not blaming them. They usually confuse us.
Okay.
They'll be putting pressure. Like chef, please, my customer is waiting because most of the customers don't wait for the food.
Yeah, so in a restaurant, it's not just the chef's responsibility to get the food done
Yeah.
and put it on your table, but as well as the people who are working in the restaurants, be it the waiters or the receptionists, it's all about they communicating together, working as a team together, and getting the things done. What do you say about it? So, is it important for the chef, the waiter, to be in coordination with each other and getting the orders delivered?
Exactly.
I do
You need to have a very good sync with like a waiter.
Yeah.
Because chef's work is to prepare food
Mm-hmm.
and a waiter works is to deliver food to a customer
Yeah.
properly. If a waiter confuses and he mismatches the customer's order,
Mhm.
obviously the customer will get angry.
Very angry, yeah.
And even that waiter's responsibility is that to ask while a customer is ordering a food
Mhm.
whether he has an food allergy or something,
Shout out to Dwara.
and he need to I need to come to a chef correctly and he need to say yes.
Okay. So the next question from my end would be like, how do you think this COVID situation has affected the whole restaurant business or food industry, especially right now?
Yeah, the food industry, because first of all most of the people are afraid to eat outside
Okay.
because it takes more people to work in a hotel and a restaurant.
Yeah.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so the thing is like most of the items which we get are from we local purchase it.
Mm-hmm. So, would you recommend eating out in restaurants right now because of the whole situation which is going on here? Is it safe for people to go to a restaurant and dine there?
According to me, like going to an high rated fine dining restaurant would be safe
Okay.
because they are actually taken certain measures to cook because
Okay.
they maintain a proper hygiene. So proper hygiene kitchen means safe food.
Yeah. So whenever you're going out, to have a really good time with your friends or family, go to a nice restaurant where people there have a really good hygienic kitchen, hygienic place where you can dine naturally and have a really good time there. So what do you think? How do you think the next coming months will be in terms of restaurant business, food business, or people who are willing to start their own restaurant or a food truck? especially I guess a lot of people might be having an idea to start a food truck.
Oh,
So
yeah.
what are your thoughts about the food truck business here, which is going on?
The food truck business is like most of the people whom I have seen,
Yeah.
they doesn't do a market survey.
Okay.
Sure.
The first thing, market survey is really important. Whenever you're doing or trying to get into food industry, especially. Yeah.
Exactly. Why? Because like if you are putting for example in XYZ areas, okay.
So we have a question from Vivian. So he's asking, like, do you think all the Hyderabad restaurants in Hyderabad, do you think they really need a changeover in terms of hygiene, in terms of kitchen management and everything? So what are your opinions? You have worked with high-level hotels. You work with startups as well.
Yes.
So how do you put it? Like, it should change completely, or they have to take certain measures? What are the certain measures you suggest would be?
The certain measures is like, first of all they need to increase the staff.
Okay.
Okay.
But that's not going to be possible, I guess, due to the situation right now.
It's the situation, but the thing is like they need to take in some
Okay.
responsibilities, when
Hygienic. Okay.
hygienic, because the food is the place where people easily trust us.
Mm-hmm.
People easily trust a restaurant or a chef because it's a very easy to kill a person.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because you don't like, you really can't see anything what's inside the food. After eating you get to know.
Yeah. So let's talk about hygiene in Hyderabad restaurants. What do you think the hygiene is? Like, we see a lot of restaurants which are on a street where people just come there, eat, and just go. There, when the chef or the person who's cooking is not wearing any gloves or hair mat or anything as such. So, what are your thoughts? Like, what do you suggest to improve the hygiene there because of the conditions right now?
Actually, government should take a measure on this.
Okay.
Government should strictly inform the street vendors to take a proper hygiene measures.
Okay. So, what would be those hygiene measures?
They need to keep the food in a proper safe condition.
Okay.
Okay, there will be a danger zone for the food.
Okay.
Okay, it
Shelf
should-
life.
shelf life and a proper temperature for a food where the
Okay.
bacteria doesn't live for longer time.
Okay.
And the main thing, people should use a proper clean vessels for cooking.
Yeah. So what in Hyderabad we usually go out to small restaurants or cafe where we have chai or biscuits or puff or anything such. But we just eat it. We don't really care how did they cook it or anything. We see mostly in the bakeries in the cafe where the person who's cooking is doesn't wear any gloves or any hair mat or anything as such. He just uses his hands. We even don't know whether he washed his hands or not. So
Pani puri.
so we have no clue how they, but it's really important right now to take such measures as taking regular breaks or taking regular precautions, using gloves, using hair mats, getting that person checked every day when he comes to the restaurant to cook as such, making people be at a safe distance from each other because of situation right now. They can be at a little safe distance from each other, make whole place clean it probably like a 1 hour or 2 hour period where you can go and clean it twice or thrice, make it look clean, be clean, sanitize them. Couple of days, 1 day prior or 2 days prior, you can sanitize them, clean them each time when you go, and also ask the restaurant owner to take up responsibilities. Sometimes we blame it on the government that they're not doing it.
Yeah.
Government has implemented such measures, but the restaurant people are not following it.
Actually, it should come from your heart, because
Yeah.
you're serving people.
Yeah.
You need to even think that is having your profit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if a customer comes there because he's carrying your profit in his pocket.
Yeah.
So the thing is like it should come from your not your heart, the people who are running a restaurant.
Okay.
At least at this situation.
There's another question
Okay.
Yeah.
from there.
So the question again from Vivian Anna. So he's asking like, how do you think the Chinese coronavirus will affect the Chinese cuisine in India?
In India, actually, it won't affect.
Okay.
It won't affect much, but I have read a couple of articles. People in California and US stopped going to Chinatown.
Okay.
The Chinatown business had dropped to 75%.
75% is a very
75%.
huge number again. Yeah.
There's another question.
Yeah, but because in India, we are actually having an Indian Chinese cuisine.
Okay.
It was started from Assam, because I don't know who started it, but maybe a migrant came from China.
Mm-hmm.
He started food, started a Chinese food.
Okay.
So most of the people think that no, in India we get fast food, which is very off, like it's not good.
Yeah.
But technically, we can say that it's from India, Indo Chinese foods.
Yeah.
So it won't affect China anything.
Yeah.
Sai Teja says,
Yeah.
for rainy season, it is a good food. How to make Manchurian?
Okay.
So we have a question here. How do you think the food truck business is going to be right now? Like, what's your opinion? Food truck business, because food truck business have very confined spaces where people have to work really close to each other.
Exactly.
So there might be some hygienic issues as well there, and people are still afraid to go to a food truck right now and purchase something or eat out of it. So what's your opinion about it?
Right now, it's actually a very risky thing to open
Okay.
a food truck.
Mm-hmm.
Usually, food truck business is very risk. It has
Okay.
very risk factors, because
Ask any question.
most of the people don't trust them because
Mhm.
of the hygiene issues.
Okay.
Okay, now it's very dangerous.
Yeah,
According to
and
me.
moreover, it's not at one place. They travel here and there, so
Exactly.
we may not know where it has been, how many people
And
have
it's
gone
very
there.
compact.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't have a proper ventilation. We doesn't know even the guy who's cooking is sweating.
Okay,
Okay, he gets sweat. Might be the sweat fall in your food, and you eat
might
it.
be.
Yeah, there are many risk factors right now
Hmm.
at this
You eat
situation.
it and it is a bizarre food again.
Yeah.
And coming to bizarre foods, yeah.
Okay.
Uh, there's a food item. అది మురుగబెట్టింది అంటారు కదా.
It's not called murga petti. It's fermented actually.
Okay, so it's called fermented.
Yeah. So
Huh.
I want to ask you a question about your thoughts on delivery business. Like, do you think it is safe that restaurants are taking precautions and hygienes, packing them up, and delivery person is delivering to us? So, in this period of transit, what are the precautions you think the delivery people or the company which is delivering should take it? Like proper hygiene or delivering at the right time, temperature, everything,
Actually,
and packing especially. How the restaurant should pack the food.
actually packing is the main source of delivering a food,
Okay.
because it has to be served hot.
Yeah.
The delivery person should be right. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
For-
Go on.
The delivery person should be right, and the company who is providing a delivery guys should they should actually take a step to to teach him how to deliver a food
Mm-hmm.
properly.
Mm-hmm.
So it's mainly depends upon delivery companies.
Mm-hmm.
So they need to take a step actually. They need to
Nice.
inform the employees that maintain a proper whenever they are carrying a food, please don't stop there like somewhere and talking to their friends. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you need to deliver food properly in that bag. But you see most of the Swiggy and Zomato guys doesn't carry the box. The box is given because that box actually maintains the temperature of the food.
Nice.
But nowadays, no, I don't see any people carrying that. They come, they carry in some kind of a bag, then they just
Deliver it,
deliver.
yeah.
That's it.
So we have a question here. So it's
There's
like
a simple question. Wait. What food should we prefer in this quarantine to stay healthy?
yeah. So what kind of food should we prefer or eat to stay healthy this quarantine?
I would recommend homemade food actually. I would recommend a homemade
That's great.
homemade
So-
food with you need to eat actually a warm food.
Mhm.
Warm food.
Warm food.
Yeah. So I have a question here. So why do you think the F&D certification for a restaurant is really pricey, and the government is not at all looking into it, and only
No, I'm
people who
sorry.
are having
Can I come again?
yeah. So why F&B certification is very expensive in India, which if the government is not taking much care into it, or the food industry or food officers who are there in the government are not really looking into it. Only people are having a lot of investments are able to purchase that certification from the government, able to start a restaurant with a big name and able to market it. What about the smaller restaurants here?
Yeah. The thing is like if you want to get an FMB certification, the
Mhm.
government has certain rules.
Okay.
For opening a big hotel,
Mm-hmm.
there are actually 32 license which you need to get approved.
So 32 license to get a restaurant approved.
Yeah.
Okay.
A restaurant to get approved because
Mhm.
it has some kind of certain measures.
Okay.
Okay, you need to compulsory have a big chiller,
Okay. Cooler.
cooler, big
Mhm.
chiller where you need to preserve your food.
Okay.
It has separate. It should be separate for this thing, veg and non-veg stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then you need to even concentrate on this sewage system.
Okay. Drainage system.
Drainage
Basically,
system.
the waste
It's
system.
actually very important
Mm-hmm.
because most of the food goes into the wastage system.
Yeah.
So that's why government doesn't take care actually.
So it's a lot of departments which handle all the certifications, 32 certifications.
Yes, exactly.
So just to give a quick review about it, starting a big restaurant is required to get 32 certificates, which is really huge number, and you have to get everything certified, be it the kitchen, be it the ambience, being the cooler, being the waste management, being the drainage system. Everything has to get certificated in order for you to get an F&D certification from the government and to start up your own restaurant as well.
Exactly.
So the main question why people are asking is all about the Chinese food here. So how do you think the Chinese food will sustain in Hyderabad?
There's-
What do you think?
There's a very good Chinese fast food in Alwal. It is called Pavanana Fast Food. You should definitely visit it. Very healthy. We always love to enjoy eating that.
So
What
Very
do you say,
much.
Vantian?
Very much.
Very much.
So how do you think the situation in Hyderabad is going to change regarding the Chinese cuisine?
So first of all, I will say something.
Yeah, go ahead.
People
Say hi.
people usually
Yeah,
say
you
that like I'm giving an example.
Okay, good.
People usually say that pickle they are actually a staple food. Not stable. It
Mhm.
actually considered for religion this thing. First of all, red chilies were not grown in India.
Okay,
Okay,
that's interesting.
it was brought from Portuguese,
Mm-hmm.
the people. Okay, then rice.
Okay.
It was before before India was
Growing.
No, what do they call it? Invaded.
Okay, discovered. Yeah.
Discovered.
Yeah.
So people used to eat millets.
That's an interesting fact.
So mostly even the rasgullas and everything, the sweets,
Mhm.
which what we are eating, it's not actually in proper Indian food.
I didn't
So
know that.
now we have adopted that.
Hmm.
There is a saying: for every 100 years, 75% of the cuisine changes. So
Nice.
right now, what the Chinese food we are eating in India are actually from India.
There you go. You got your answer.
It's a simple thing. Because we say
Not that simple, guys. It is simple only for chefs.
because most of the thing we eat pakoras.
Mhm.
It's actually its base is from Afghanistan, but still
We have a lot of mixed cuisines all over
Samosas.
the world.
everyday snack.
Samosa.
Samosa.
Who doesn't love samosa? With
Eh,
chai especially. Oh,
Yeah, chai.
Yeah.
The person-
Chai is
Chai.
not again.
The person write to me is a tea lover. You can definitely ping him for some tea tips.
So yeah. So where do you think the chai has come in India? Like mostly, if you're from Hyderabad, you might be knowing that we Hyderabadis love Irani chai, and how did it all originated?
Actually, Britishes, Britishes, what is it?
Ventured into India.
Actually, they forced Indian people to drink tea.
Actually,
Oh.
Britishers took the diamond. What is it then?
Koinur.
Kohinoor.
Let's talk about it.
So
So after that, let's go to history.
So I want to quickly tell that we have different types of cuisines in India, but we actually made it our own by adding our little flavor to it. But most of it is we acquired it from all over the world, be it China or Afghanistan or be it Russia or America as such. So we have a mixed cuisine, like we have mixed culture, especially. Yeah.
Exactly. So talking about Irani chai.
Yeah, let's talk about Irani chai.
Now, what is actually Irani chai?
Hmm.
So people who were migrated from Iran.
Hmm.
So we have many Parsis.
Yeah.
So actually they brought Irani chai to us. but still we say that Hyderabadi Irani chai. Actually,
Yeah.
they are the people who actually introduced Irani chai for us.
That's an interesting fact for you.
But still, when you go to Mumbai, you still find a Parsi cafes.
Okay.
They sell the authentic Irani chai
You should definitely try it when you go to
with
Mumbai.
bun maska.
Oh, sounds great.
With bun
A
maska.
pista house. Rohit says pista house is interesting. How is it interesting, Rohit?
Maybe.
Why do you think pista house is very, very interesting?
Maybe he liked biryani.
Yeah, so let's
He
get
says
down to
tea.
questions more.
Yeah, I can see the
Come down.
no, on your line.
No, once.
One second. I will see.
Since Rocky and Mayur had a major role play
What?
in your choice of
What would be your reaction if you ever get the opportunity to meet them in real?
Actually, I would actually thank them actually.
Once you come to Begum Bazaar, not all.
What?
No.
Regarding the Irani chai, yeah, Oval City, areas near Oval City are like
So I just
crazy.
said it because the people were asking about the impact of Chinese food.
Yeah,
Bun mask is my
I
favorite.
want a complete investment to start a restaurant.
Please DM me, okay?
DM him, he'll let you
Or
know the
just
whole
DM
plan.
Sachin and I'll just let you know.
Yeah. So let's talk about starting a restaurant, especially, many people wanted to do a side business, where they wanted to start a restaurant. But for each restaurant to start up with a different investment, particularly. If you wanted to start a restaurant where it is small, where you want to offer veg and non-veg or not a particular kind of a cuisine, so investment would be around like 4 to 5.
It depends. Like, are you serving a breakfast
Okay.
to lunch or just a dinner or just a lunch and dinner?
Cool. So I got a quick question. So, before the COVID situation, we all used to eat breakfast outside in the morning. Everybody wakes up late and wanted to have a quick breakfast.
That's you.
So they go out and have breakfast. So right now the situation is totally reversed and people are spending time at home cooking their own breakfast and eating. So what do you think in future in the coming months? Would this change? People will start going and have food outside in the morning as well?
Exactly, because nowadays most of the people are working from home,
Yeah.
so they have time to cook.
Yeah.
So when they go to office, they most of the time, they waste in traveling.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely they're gonna eat outside.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's
So-
already been answered. Jeevan, food. It's already done. You're late.
Okay,
Yeah. So the next question. So there are also many people who wanted to start a food blogging page or channel or anything as such. So what are your thoughts about starting a blog about food, writing reviews especially, or starting a cooking channel of your own?
So the thing is like that's I.
Sorry guys.
You have to say that. You have to say hi.
Yeah.
That's
Let's
So starting for like people who wants to start a food blog and everything, I would suggest them something.
yeah. Go on.
Either try it in your regional languages. Okay?
Oh yeah.
Try it in the regional languages and it should be different
Mhm.
from others, because you can find many food bloggers online. But what's interesting in yours?
Yeah.
Why should people read yours?
So right now, I guess it's the time now to go regional rather than to going in a different language or something. If you're good at your own regional language, you can go ahead, make videos about it, and post it on YouTube or any social media platform as such. Yeah. So I know during quarantine, everybody's watching a lot of food cooking videos online and doing it by themselves. And a lot of people have really good talent and skills, doing cooking especially. So what do you recommend or for them, to increase their skill? And if at all they wanted to become a chef, what do you suggest for them?
So if they really want to become a chef,
Mm-hmm.
the first thing they need to start loving the ingredients.
Okay.
Not just cooking some food and posting it on a social media.
Mm-hmm.
Because you need to deliver the food to a customer who is hungry, who is expecting a tasty food from our restaurant.
Yeah.
So main thing is like you need to start loving the ingredients.
Mm-hmm.
So first you need to start learning how to love an ingredients, and you need to start think like you need to start, what do we say?
Cooking or practicing, developing the skill.
Practicing, developing, not like that. You need to start.
Enjoying things.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Start love what you do. So you basically want to tell that.
Yeah.
So we are at the little end of the talk show. I want to quickly talk about the hard side or the hardships of being a chef. So in cooking videos, you might see that chefs will be talking about balancing the taste in the dish, especially. So I want to ask a quick note about chefs usually talk about balancing the taste. So how it is important to balance that taste in a dish?
Yeah.
See, some people like it sour, some people like it sweet, some people, especially like us, like it very hot or masaledar. So, your thoughts?
So it's balancing the taste is what actually I would say something. Wait, I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
For the viewers who are asking, that is not a script, that is a recipe book for your kind information.
Yeah. So, tell us, cooking also involves scientific side to it.
Yeah.
So, let's talk about it.
It has chemistry, actually food chemistry.
Yeah, food chemistry.
Because many people who are are gluten allergic to gluten and everything,
Mm-hmm.
we need to like think about a separate dish for them actually. So
Yeah.
you asked me why it's very important to balance taste in the food, because balancing the taste would satisfy a customer, I would
Yeah.
say that. Because for example, you don't like spiciness.
Mm.
So actually we usually tell a waiter to ask him, like, if you are ordering a special food or something,
Mm-hmm.
we usually say a waiter to ask them, do they really want a spiciness in this?
Mm-hmm.
So what do you say?
Change it or make it according to.
Yeah, exactly. Like
So, talking about this, I want to talk about a quick quality what makes a chef a chef. A chef knows how to make a dish, like a worse dish, to a better tasting dish like this. He has some tricks and tips which he can make a dish which is tastes ugly or bad to a really good tasting dish. Only chefs can do that, because I've seen like they know the chemistry, food chemistry so well. They can add in some ingredients, to balance the whole taste, or something like that. Which you do tell us more about
but
it.
it's actually it's a magic of Indian spices.
Wow, that's great.
It's actually not a chef's specialty, but it's a magic of Indian spices.
But the chef also has to know which type of spice to use at
yeah, exactly.
which quantity and
And
where,
how much you need
how
to
much,
use.
yeah, and which time of cooking as well, that matters, I guess.
Exactly.
So there are a lot of stuff which goes into cooking. It's a really good skill in demand right now, and people who are wanting to pursue their career as chef or in a hotel management industry, can go ahead, take the course, get skilled at it, get experience in hand first, and then you can start your own channel. Then you can start up own restaurant. I say that experience here is very important skill here.
Exactly.
You can't read cooking, you have to do it in order to get it right.
Exactly. So I've said something.
Yeah.
Food and beverage industry is a lifestyle.
Yeah.
Okay. First thing you need to think about that.
Yeah.
If you want to become a chef, if you want to open a restaurant,
Mm-hmm.
the only thing you need to change is like partying on weekends,
Okay. Cut down on the weekend parties.
weekend parties, meeting your friends,
Mm-hmm. So what you're saying, it's like the first
and
6 to 7 years of your career, right?
it's not exactly 6 to 7 years of the career
Mhm.
until you own restaurant.
Okay.
So we set up everything you said and the operation works.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Till then you need to work hard. And the second thing is like sleep. I already said a chef need to work 14 hours a day. Okay. It starts from 7
Mhm.
o'clock.
Getting the ingredients ready, cutting.
Pulling out the stock from the store
Mhm.
for the whole day.
Yeah.
Then making breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. From 8:30 to 11. So
Mhm.
simultaneously you need to prepare your lunch from 11 to till 3.
Yeah.
You need to serve lunch, and after that, from 3 to 6 o'clock, you need to prepare for dinner. It's called mise en place. What you want to prepare. So what all
So
items?
I guess there's a lot of planning which goes ahead
Exactly.
into every day, and
And you get only a half-hour break in your whole day. From
that's
6,
not enough.
only half-hour break. Usually people think that whenever someone asks me like, what are you? Oh, yeah, like I say I'm a chef. So people are like, oh, you're lucky, you get to eat variety of food. It's not actually like that. We chefs doesn't have time to eat.
That's it.
We make a expensive dish, a proper dish, but we never get to taste it like properly. You sit in a table with peace of mind.
Cool. So we come to the end of the talk show. It was a really great experience and talking with Chef Prithvi here. I hope it adds some value to you. Get to for you to take inputs from it. If at all you're getting to become a chef or get into food industry especially. I hope this is helpful for you guys, and we will be coming up with more such talented people in this talk show. Furthermore, stay tuned to my page to get more updates, and I hope you have a good day. I'll see you soon.
So one more last question.
Yeah,
So if
let's-
you have any more queries about
Mhm.
this field, you can just DM Sachin,
Yeah.
and we'll be talking about this.
Cool. So here you have the word from the chef himself. If you wanted to start a restaurant, any as such things, you can directly DM us, and we'll get back to you. Talk to you in brief, and
Exactly.
we'll get it done. So that's it. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. I hope you have an amazing day today. I'm gonna see you soon.
Hey, you have to
Thank you
tell
so
hi
much.
to all the viewers. Yeah.
Chalo,
Thank you so much.
thank you so much. for
Thank you,
viewing.
Akka. Thank you, Pinny. Thank you so much.
Chalo,
It was
bye-bye.
great
We all
talking
love
to you.
you.
Bye.